मनसोऽभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारणम्। Firstly, I would like to warmly welcome each one of you for being present today, participating today, so that we can have our wonderful Bhagavatam study together. So grateful for the presence of each one of you, and we will begin from verse number 16, right, today? 1, 3, 16. So I will display it on the screen.
Yes, Mother.
Yeah, here you go. So I'll recite it once. One of you could unmute yourself and kindly repeat it. Sura Suranam Udadim Mathanata Mandarachalam Dadre Kamatha Rupena Prishtha Ekadashe Vibhu.
I'll recite, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sindhu here.
Yes, yes. Please, Mataji.
Suranam Udadim Matnata Mandarachalam Drekhamata Rupena Prishta Ekadashe Vibhu.
Kindly read the translation also, Mataji.
Translation only, Mataji.
Yeah, purport and translation very small. Yeah.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The 11th incarnation of the Lord took the form of a tortoise, whose shell served as a pivot for the Mandarachala hill, which is being used as churning rod by the theist and atheist of the universe. Purport. Once both the atheist and the theist were engaged in producing nectar from the sea that all of them could become deathless by drinking it. At that time, the Mandarachala hill was used as the churning rod. The shell of Lord Tortoise, the incarnation of Godhead, became the resting place, pivot of the hill in the seawater.
Okay, so what I'll do is 16th and 17th we'll read out and then we will speak on it little bit. Danvantaram Dvadashamam Trayodashama Evacha Apayayat Suran Anyan Mohinya Mohayan Striya.
Shall I continue or someone reading?
I'll just call out.
Somebody else can recite.
Yeah, let's call out like what we did yesterday. Let other people also get a chance. Yes, Rakesh Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Rakesh Krishna Prabhuji. Would you like to recite? Hare Krishna.
If there's nobody, then the same Mataji can continue.
Yes, Sarika Mataji, Hare Krishna, you can unmute. She has raised her hands.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Dhanvantaram dvadashamam trayodashamam evacha apayayat surananyan mohinya mohayan striya.
Mataji, translation. There's no purport. Just read the translation as well.
Sure. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the 12th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Dhanvantari, and in the 13th he allured the atheists by the charming beauty of a woman and gave nectar to the demigods to drink. Hare Krishna.
Perfect. Thank you. So we are currently discussing the 16th and 17th. We can combine because both are connected to the same pastime, right? Yeah. So in this verse, what was being explained is about who's speaking currently these verses. You all recall who's speaking these verses out? The conversation is between whom?
Shaulagadi Rishi and Sutta.
This Sutta Goswami is giving the replies. He's informing about the various incarnations in this chapter 3. And Shaunaka Rishi, who's representative of all the rishis in this place, Naimisharanya. So the conversation is happening. So now currently Sutta Goswami is speaking about the 11th incarnation. And here the list of incarnations we are seeing, this is on. But now currently we are in this 16th and 17th, there is this one pastime of Samudra Manthan being covered here. So now we saw already in that purport and translations that there was a churning happening between the Devatas and churning of ocean happening between theist and atheist. That is the demons as well as the Devatas. This very pastime is very elaborately given. This is just very briefly is mentioning the incarnations. But if we go to Canto 8, chapter number 5 to chapter number 9, this pastime is very elaborately mentioned. But do you know, in that canto, one surprising thing given there is, King Parikshit is questioning to Shukadev Goswami that why and how did Lord Vishnu churn the ocean of milk? Little differences there. Anybody can tell what is the difference? What we just read now and what question Parikshit Maharaj is putting to Shukadev Goswami. Little differences there. What is that difference? You all could make it out.
Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, to get that nectar, Amruta, Hare Krishna Mataji.
No, that is a common thing. But here I will tell you one very simple, but yet we have to be very observant. Here the question was that Devatas and the Asuras came to do the churning. Okay. While there, Parikshit Maharaj is telling, King Parikshit is telling, why and how did Lord Vishnu churn the ocean of milk? Now, did Vishnu churn? There, that is a question. And here what is being told? Devatas and the Asuras, they entered, had a truce and they are doing this Samudra Manthan. So let us understand this question, both the things deeply. Basically, there is no contradiction here. I will just explain you that always we know there is always a conflict between the Devatas and the demons. Always the demons and this fight, conflict, strife is always on. So at one point of time, the Devatas went disheartened, disappointed, and they always, whenever there is a difficulty, this verse is given in Bhagavatam, Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Vidayanti Yuge Yuge. So whenever Indra is being troubled by enemies, where does he go? He always goes to, the Devatas always take the shelter of the Supreme Lord. So now the Devatas went to Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord, we will see how much does he help them. That's why Parikshit is telling, King Parikshit is telling that how and why did Lord Vishnu churn the ocean of milk. Okay. So firstly, when the Devatas go to him, Lord says, have a truce. Just, कहते हैं कि हाथ मिला लो. Just go ahead, be friends with the demons and let us do the churning of the ocean. So this first, let us count now on our fingers. So firstly, he advises them, if we want nectar, we have to churn the ocean, and you can't churn the ocean by yourself. Right now, go and make a truce with the demons. The Devatas do as they are being commanded by the Supreme Lord. Now for this churning of the ocean, a big pivot, a churning rod is needed, right? So they decided to make Mandarachal mountain, which is nothing but a mountain of gold. And a mountain of gold is having more density than a normal mountain, the normal stones, right? So it is so heavy when the Devatas are lifting it, they get crushed under it. See, I'm just not going elaborate in the pastime, but just trying to show the role of Lord Krishna in this entire pastime. So they get crushed. Some have their broken arms, some have their broken legs, some have actually died under that mountain while lifting it. So that's the first Lord acted as advisor. Now Lord just glanced upon them. When he glanced upon them, he revived them. Those who were dead, they were alive again, and those who were badly injured, they are fine now. After that, third thing what Lord does is Garuda comes. He puts that big Mandarachal mountain on that Garuda. Lord himself sits on that Garuda. And he puts even the Devatas on the Garuda. Just imagine the power, the strength, and the size of that huge Garuda carrier of the Lord. And he takes this mountain to the place where the churning will happen, that is ocean of milk, right? Now that time, now the churning rod is available now. It has come already, this mountain. We need that rope, right? To churn, we need the rope also. So now they decided to have Vasuki snake, which is having thousands of hoods. That huge snake Vasuki will be summoned. So far Lord has been advisor. Secondly, he glanced upon them. Thirdly, he put the mountain on the Garuda, helped them to bring the mountain near the place of churning. Fourthly, now fourth thing, what does the Lord do? He tells Garuda, you please go. Your job is done. Why does he have to tell Garuda to go, leave that place? Because Garuda and this Vasuki are opponents. You know, wherever there will be snake will be scared to come when there is Garuda there. So the Lord had to summon Vasuki, so Garuda was made to go, leave that place and go. So four things already done. Now the fifth thing, what the Lord is, how the Lord is helping the Devatas is, now the Devatas and Asuras both are there. Lord takes the lead from the side of Devatas. He is leading as a Ajit, Lord Ajit, the unconquerable. Ajit means unconquerable. So Lord takes the lead on the side of demigods. But while they are about to churn and they are just begun a little bit, the mountain is oscillating, right? It is going round and round, and then it is sinking in the water. Ocean is very vast and deep. Obviously, that mountain is going on sinking. That's when the Lord manifests as a huge, in this 16th verse, it was given in the form of tortoise, Kurmadev. Kurmat is written, no? So that Kurmadev avatar, the Lord manifests like a big tortoise and it goes under the mountain. How big is this tortoise? Srimad Bhagavatam says 800,000 miles. 800,000 miles, huge tortoise which goes under the mountain, and now the mountain is stable. So there is support from below at least. So fifth thing happened. Now again, when they are trying to churn, the Devatas decide that we will be on the holding the face of Vasuki, and the Lord tells the demons to hold the tail. But the demons, being very egoistic, they feel, no, that's not an auspicious position. We need to be in the front. You people go back. Lord smiles. Because Lord knows when this thing, rubbing of this snake will happen, the fumes and all the poison will come out. So the demons will be more impacted. Devatas they swap the sides. Devatas go towards the tail. So later on, what happens is, now to facilitate this churning to happen, see, sometimes what happens, this is a very Herculean task. Sometimes when we are doing a big task, we sometimes get demotivated. Sometimes we are very low at times. So for this churning to happen uninterrupted, what does Lord do? This is sixth or seventh point. Lord is entering into the Devatas as a mode of goodness. He enters into the demons as mode of passion, and he enters into the Vasuki as mode of ignorance. Why ignorance in Vasuki? Because Vasuki will be rubbed against that mountain. It will cause bruises to Vasuki. So if there is mode of ignorance, it will continue. He will not give up this churning halfway. So this is seventh or eighth point where this is how Lord is intervening in this pastime to happen. But again, when they are rubbing, no, as I said, the demons are on towards the face of the this thing, the snake, and devatas are at the back. But then the fumes and this, what you call, the fumes and smoke is coming out of the mouth of this Vasukis, which are very big snake. So the devatas who are wearing all nice clothes, so many ornaments, they actually turn black. And that's when, what does the Lord do? He brings the rain clouds, dark rain clouds, and there's a rain only over the demigods. And there is nice sprinkling of few drops of water, which kind of refreshes you. Sometimes when it is very hot, we like to sprinkle the cool, nice water, no? So, and then Lord allows the cool breeze to move also. So then the devatas are refreshed. Later on, what they do, they find that the mountain from the top is also not stable. It is there's stabilization to be needed from the top also. So again, the Lord goes to the summit of the mountain and tries to stabilize this Mandarachal Parvat. So we already saw Lord is above the mountain, he's below the mountain as a Kurmadev, he's leading the Devatas as Lord Ajita, and he's done so much during this pastime when it is happening. Now, when the churning is happening, what happens? The first thing that came out was what? Anybody knows? What came out when the churning happened? The halahal vish, that is very, very strong poison came out. And Lord immediately tells the devatas to go and approach Lord Shiva. Because Lord is in the mood of glorifying his devotees. Lord always wants his devotees to be glorified. And so Vaishwanam Yatha Shambhu, Lord Shambhu, so they go to approach Lord Shiva to consume this poison, which he does. And then the poison makes his neck blue and he is called Neelakantha. So even when there were obstacles in the way, but Lord was ensuring that it goes on smoothly. And then later on, many things come out when the churning is happening. That time, Dhanvantari Lord in the end comes out with a big pot of nectar. So we are talking in the 17th verse about Lord Dhanvantari and Lord in the form of Mohini. So that's why I clubbed this 16th and 17th verse. So now this Dhanvantari is the Lord who treats your physical ailments also. I still recall when we were going during COVID times for putting our vaccinations, many senior devotees advised us to remember Lord Dhanvantari, because he is that Lord who gave us the science of medicine. You know, he's given us that, and he basically treats your physical ailments. So that pot of nectar was with him when he emerged from that ocean. But then what did the demons do? The demons just snatched out that nectar pot and they ran. And they were actually fighting amongst each other that it is mine, then other one is snatching. They basically, demons never have unity. And the devatas are just stunned and looking, what happened? I mean, we just followed everything, but towards the end, we just didn't get anything. But again, the Lord reassured them, wait, the nectar will be given to you. Then that time, Lord appears in the form of Mohini Murti. Now just imagine, dear devotees, when we see Lord Krishna, he's so very attractive that the Lord of beauty, that Cupid is fainting when he sees the Supreme Lord Krishna. When this Supreme Lord Krishna takes the beautiful form of a woman, how much more he will look attractive, no? So this Mohini Murti comes and she enchants these demons and seduces them, and then they are so captivated by her beauty, they readily give that pot of nectar in her hands. And she tells them right in front of, she actually fools the demons. Right in front of the demons, Lord Mohini Murti, she gives the nectar to all the devatas who are sitting. They are both seated in two rows. And the demons keep watching, and all the devatas, the demigods, they get all the nectar. So now you all tell me, around 11 or 12 points are there where we saw that this entire pastime, churning of milk ocean, happens between the devatas and the asuras. But at every minute, Lord has been supporting the devatas. Without his assistance, would this churning of ocean been possible? Tell me. This is the reason Parikshit Maharaj is using the word, why did Lord Vishnu, why and how did Lord Vishnu churn? So this is a very important question by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukdev Goswami, because everything that we are able to do in the material world, we should never take the credit for that. Ideally, everything is being done by the Supreme Lord himself. But we have to adjust that lens. We see, I did this, he has done this, but if you see properly, you can see the hand of Lord in every accomplishment. So this pastime is actually narrating, telling us, which I have made it very small summary. It's very big pastime, detailed. When we reach Canto 8, we will be hearing. We just speaking in nutshell to learn a few lessons. So towards the end, Parikshit, in the Bhagavatam, it is given, the Daiva factor is so important. Devatas, one quality they have is they always approach Supreme Lord. Any difficulty, any obstacle comes in their way, they know one thing where they have to go is fall at the feet of the Supreme Lord. Whereas the atheists, whereas the demons, they just defy that there is any God. We are ourselves God. They don't want to accept the authority of the Supreme Lord. So this pastime concludes with the verse in the 8th canto that both Devatas and the Asura were at the same place, Desha Kala. The time was same. When this pastime is happening, the motive was same. They both want nectar. But were the results same? Results were not same. For it, the benefit for demons never happened. This pastime benefit happened only for the Devatas, the demigods. Why? Because in life, whenever we are taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, Param Vijayate, we will always be successful, because ultimately Lord will ensure that my devotees, he especially favors his devotees. Okay. So now we will again go to the verse number 18. I'll just share that screen. Or if Mataji, you could quickly share 1:3:18.
Mataji.
Thank you for this help, Mataji. Yeah. No. 1:3:18, Mataji. 17 also we covered. Now 18.
Yes.
Yeah. Correct. One
Yes.
more thing I forgot to tell you in that 17th verse. Can you go back on 17, Mataji? Yeah. 1 minute 17. One word very important in the shloka is Mohayan Striya. Last line, can you all see? Mohayan Striya. So here in one of the lectures, Srila Prabhupada also interprets this, how this can be used, this verse can be put in practice in our life. Prabhupada points out that for a man in a Grahastha ashram, the husband should be like a Sura. Sura means like the Devatas, demigods. What is the speciality of the demigods? They are always surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. If in a Grahastha ashram, husband is fully surrendered to the Lord and wife is a chaste and faithful wife, then they will proceed and they will perfect their life. But if the wife, here as it says, Mohayan Striya, if the wife acts like Mohini, she tries to entice and, what you can say, bewilder the husband by her beauty, then what will happen? Prabhupada is only saying that the husband will forget his duty, that is growing, evolving in spiritual life, in Krishna consciousness. So the both, what is good for the husband and wife? Especially for the wife, the instruction is Mohayan Striya. A wife should always cooperate, help her partner. Both of them together, they can grow in Krishna consciousness. Not that she becomes like Mohini Murti and deviates him from Krishna consciousness. The husband has always to be like a Sura. Yes, Mataji, we can go to the next verse now. Sudha Mataji wants to read, I believe, 18th verse.
Yes, Mataji.
Where's the
Hare-
verse? Yeah.
Hare
Read it,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
चतुर्दशां नारसिंहं बिभ्रदैत्रेन्द्रम् ऊर्जितं ददार करजैरुराव एरकां कटकृत्यता.
Thank you, Mataji. Even the translation, please.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Nrsimha and bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nails, just as a carpenter pierces cane. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Yeah, so this has no purport, but we all know the Lord Narasimha-Dev's pastime. So why did Lord manifest? Lord manifested because of for his pure devotee, for the protection of his pure devotee Prahlad. Now, in this, to learn for us is 2-3 things. Firstly, Prahlad Maharaj is Acharya of Smaranam. Many a times people always say we don't have conducive atmosphere at home. As a result, we are not able to do bhakti. We can't read Shastra, we can't chant openly because people in a house or maybe situations, circumstances are not conducive. That is the time we see how little Prahlad, a 5-year-old boy, he was in a demon family. His father doesn't like the name of Vishnu being chanted. He says he doesn't accept that Vishnu is Supreme Lord. In that situation, Prahlad Maharaj, just by smarana, constant smarana of the Lord, which was so deep, that because of this smaranam, that devotion, his potency was so high that for protecting this devotee, this little child, Lord had to appear in the form of Narasimha. So we understand Prahlad Maharaj is smaran. He is Acharya for smaran. He is teaching us how to keep remembering Lord always. And how did Prahlad attain this smarana stage? Through Shravanam. Right now, what we are doing, we are hearing out the pastimes of the Lord. So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. The first thing in bhakti is the process of bhakti is Shravanam, hearing. Unless and until we will not hear, the attraction cannot grow for the Lord. That is the beginning. So, now we will say Prahlad, when did he hear? Anybody knows how Prahlad did the Shravanam of the Hari Katha?
In the womb of his mother, Narad Muni had.
Yes. Yes, perfect, Mataji. So Kayadu, wife of Hiranyakashipu had gone for tapasya for many, many years, but the Devatas were so scared. They said, if the father is so terrible and atrocious, what will be the son? And Kayadu, his wife, was already pregnant with the child. So that time Indra decides, before the child is born, might as well kill him. But that's when Narada, as a spiritual master, comes in the scene. He takes Kayadu to his hut and he's giving instructions to Kayadu. He assures the Devatas, no, the child in the womb of Kayadu is going to be a great devotee. So believing the words of Narada, the Devatas go back assured that yes, we are safe. And when the Prahlad was in the womb of his mother, it is mentioned there in Bhagavatam, that mother Kayadu was not so attentive hearing the instructions given on bhakti, devotional service, but Prahlad in the womb. Now, in the womb, child is not in a very comfortable situation. Yet, whatever situation God had put him in, he is in the womb. It said that in the womb, the child is literally upside down position. And it is such a cramped place, a place where in that situation also Prahlad chose to hear very attentively and did Shravanam. As a result of that, when he is born, he is constantly remembering the Supreme Lord. So we should always, there is so much to learn that situations, jaisa bhi ho, wherever we get an opportunity, we should be taking it up seriously, sincerely. So now Shravanam and Smaranam we saw from Prahlad Maharaj. But then we see demonic people like Hiranyakashipu, they try to make many plans to have sense gratification. Hiranyakashipu name itself means what? Hiranya is gold, Kashipu means soft mattress. So the people in Kali Yuga or anybody who is not Krishna conscious only wants to eternally have sense gratification. And he wanted to actually get the boon of immortality from Brahma. But Brahmaji says, no, that I can't grant you. So he thinks that he's smart enough and he takes several boons from Brahma and he thinks that he's done some great plan and schemes that he has made that he could even put Brahma in illusion. I don't want to die during day or night. I shouldn't be dying through weapons. I don't want to be dead on the earth nor in the sky. Neither morning nor night. He thought he made all these arrangements by using his intelligence and now he's safe. But he was so cruel, so atrocious towards his own son Prahlad, because he just didn't like what Prahlad as a devotee was speaking. He was speaking the glories of the Lord. So he put him to so much torture. But every time Prahlad emerged successful, it was just chanting the names of the Supreme Lord. So every difficulty that comes in our life, if there is smaran of the Lord, Lord will protect his devotees. Name bhakta pranashyati. It is what Lord says in Bhagavad Gita. So this is how so Lord had to appear in this form from the pillar, because Prahlad said, yes, he's there in the pillar as well. His faith was so staunch that Lord is there everywhere. And he appears half man, half lion. And he kills Hiranyakashipu with his nails. So that's not a weapon. He is killing Hiranyakashipu at the threshold of the palace. So it's neither inside the palace nor outside. He's killing him during twilight time. So it's neither morning nor night. He doesn't want to die up in the sky or on the earth. He put him on his lap and he killed him. So Lord did not violate the boons that Brahma had given him. Yet Karta Akarta Sarvatha Kartum. Lord can do anything. What is impossible for Supreme Lord? For his devotee, he will just do anything. So this is what we learn from this pastime of Lord Narasimhadev in a brief few lines, because in elaborate this thing, it will come in the later cantos. So we go to the next verse, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Bhika Mataji, would you like to read?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Panchadasham vamanakam vidvakat adivaram baleha padatrayam yachamana pradyas pratyadistus tripistapam.
Read the translation as well, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. In the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf, Brahmana, Vamana, and visited the arena of sacrifice arranged by Maharaja Bali. Although at heart he was willing to regain the kingdom of the 3 planetary systems, he simply asked for a donation of 3 steps of land.
Somebody else would like to read the purport? Very small, 2-3 lines.
Yeah, Sudha Mataji has raised her. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Almighty God can bestow upon anyone the kingdom of the universe from a very small beginning, and similarly, He can take away the kingdom of the universe on the plea of begging a small piece of land. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. So in brief, if we have to speak on this pastime, which probably each one of you knows it, but just putting it in a nutshell, what we can learn from here is, we are primarily in this various incarnations focusing on what we are able to, what is in for us to take home things. So here we see that Bali Maharaj is from a Daitya family, right? He's a demon. And he's grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, right? Both Bali and Prahlad Maharaj, both are Mahajans. Imagine being in a demon family, there can be wonderful Vaishnavas, and Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj are the best examples. They are Vaishnavas, they are Mahajans. Mahajans means those authorities whom we are supposed to follow when we are practicing our bhakti. Mahajano yena gatasa pantha. We have to follow in the footsteps of Mahajans. So now here, if we speak in brief, Bali Maharaj being in the demon family there, he was a very powerful king, very, very powerful. But why is he glorified here in this pastime? That we will see in a nutshell, that being very powerful, and he had actually conquered the whole universe, and even the upper planetary systems were in his control. So where would the Devatas go again? As in the previous verse, we understood that the Devatas have no other shelter apart from the Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord comes as a dwarf, Vamanadev. He comes in dressed as a Brahmin, with that Kamandalu and all. And he's coming there, name there given is Upendra also, the small dwarf Brahmin, so tiny. That time Bali Maharaj is in the sacrifice, is doing a yajna. And that's the time where this Brahman comes, Vamandev, and he says that, oh, king, you are doing this sacrifice. I have come. I am a Brahmana. Please give me some charity. King is supposed to give charity to the Brahmanas. So king is like very saying, oh, yes, I can give you many things. I can give you a village. I can give you a beautiful girl to marry. I can give you lots. But that time, Vamana Deva says, no, I am very content with just 3 feet of land. And my feet, measurement will be of my feet. Now, a dwarf, how small his feet would be. So only that much portion of land he says that he wants. So, and Bali Maharaj is about to give him that promise that I promise to give you this. That's when Shukracharya comes. Shukracharya is the guru of Daityas, demons, and Brihaspati is the guru of Devatas. So Shukracharya comes and he kind of forbids him. He tells him, no, Bali, be cautious. Be cautious. This is Supreme Lord come to cheat you. Don't give this promise. You will lose everything out. Bali Maharaj, that's when he thinks, one of the lectures Prabhupada is saying, what kind of guru is he? You are teaching me that we should surrender, we should give everything to the Lord. But now you are not allowing me to do, even if it is Lord Vishnu, I will still give. It's good. He's come to ask the donation from me. I am ready to give. Why are you forbidding me? So he kind of rejects his guru. Bali Maharaj is that personality. Ideally, it is very sinful to reject your guru or disobey your guru. But here, Bali Maharaj, through his example, he says that if there is an opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord, I am ready to even reject that guru. Why? The guru who is a Vaishnava guru is not a guru actually. A guru who stops you from serving the Supreme Lord is definitely not a guru. It is said a Brahman's role is Shat Karma Nipuno Vipro. Even if that Vipra, that Brahman is expert in the 6 kind of jobs, what are the 6 activities of the Brahmana? Pathan. He will read scriptures, he will share that knowledge with others. Yajna, Yajana, he will do various religious sacrifices, activities, and he will help others to perform those activities. Dana and Parigraha, 6 activities. Shat karma, Nipuna यानी बहुत expert होना. To be expert. He may be expert. Mantra, Tantra, Visharada. He may be expert in Mantra, Tantra, 6 activities which a Brahman is supposed to do. But the main thing is, if he's a Vaishnava, if he's not a Vaishnava, such a guru one must reject, because it's not going to help you in any way. Guru should take you to, help you to grow in spirituality, help you to take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So this is where Bali Maharaj rejects him, and actually Shukracharya kind of curses him that you will lose all your opulence, you will lose everything. He still serves the Lord. And that's when he gives him promise, what does the Lord do? Lord expands in a very huge form. With his 1 foot, he takes away all the lower planetary systems. With the 2nd foot, he takes away all the higher planetary system. Now he's asking Bali, where do I put my 3rd foot? So Bali, very humble, this thing, he puts his head down. You can put your 3rd foot on my head. So Bali Maharaj is the Acharya of Atma Nivedanam. Atma Nivedana means surrendering yourself completely to the Supreme Lord. So what did Bali Maharaj give? He gave away his personal belongings. Everything is, the Lord took away, upper planetary, lower planetary systems. And now he's giving his head. That means he gave himself completely to the Supreme Lord. So this is why Bali Maharaj is glorified. And from this we are able to learn this one thing, that if we are giving something to the Lord, we are never at loss. What happens to Bali Maharaj? He is ruling the Sutala Loka by Krishna's divine arrangement, and Lord himself is the gatekeeper. So Bali Maharaj, being such a wonderful devotee, Lord was pleased, and he is residing, and in the next Manvantara he will become Indra. So there was nothing that Bali Maharaj lost. In fact, he showed that how we should be doing Atma Nivedanam, just surrendering everything to the Supreme Lord. Let's go to the 20th. Yeah. Anybody is willing to read this verse?
Yeah.
Who's,
Yeah, Srimati Shampriya Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna
Thank you.
Mataji. Pranams.
Hare.
अवतारे षोडशमे पश्यन् ब्रह्मो ध्रुवो नृपान् द्विसप्त कृत्वा कुपितो निःशत्राम् अक्रनोत्महि.
Can you read the translation also? Yeah.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the 16th incarnation of the Godhead, the Lord as Bhagupati annihilated the administrative class, Kshatriyas, 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas, the intelligent class. Purport also?
Yeah, Mata is chota here. Read it, please.
Okay, purport. The Kshatriyas or the administrative class of men are expected to rule the planet by the direction of the intelligent class of men, who give direction to the rulers in terms of the standard shastras or books revealed knowledge. Of the revealed knowledge. The rulers carry on the administration according to that direction. Whenever there is disobedience on the part of Kshatriyas or the administrative class against the orders of the learned and the intelligent Brahmanas, the administrators are removed by force from the post. An arrangement is made for the betterment. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So here, which incarnation? 16th incarnation is of Lord Parshuram. He's also called as Bhrugupati. So he's in the dynasty of Bhrigu, page Bhrigu. So Bhrugupati. This is the, so now in this, let us understand from Bhagavad Gita, I think chapter 4, verse number 13. No, Chaturvanyam Maya Srishnam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. So here the mention is made up of Kshatriyas and Brahmanas. So when we see the Varnas, which are the 4 Varnas? Can anybody share that?
Mataji,
Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra.
Brahman.
So we want those 4 Varnas. So these Varna. So first one is Brahmanas, right?
Brahmana.
So Brahmana, yeah.
Grahastha.
Kshatriya. No, Brahmana,
Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra.
Vaishya,
Vanaprastha, Brahmana, Grahastha.
Vanaprastha,
No, Mataji, that is ashrama.
Ashrama, yes. This we are speaking of Varna and Ashrama. So Varna is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra.
Vaishya, Shudra.
When we go to Ashramas, that is what we were telling
means
about.
Brahmachari,
Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas.
Last is Sannyas. Yes. So we are talking about Varnas currently here. So what is it being? So we understood Brahmanas are the the intelligent class, like in a body. Brahmanas represent the head, the brain, right? After that comes Kshatriyas, who represent our arms. This is administrative class. Administrative class will protect. Brahmanas will direct, give you guidance because they are very intelligent. Their role is to guide the Kshatriyas. Their role is to guide the Kshatriyas in such a way so that the entire population is slowly evolving spiritually, and they are guiding the kings and all these Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas' role is to protect everybody. Vaishyas are like business class. They are also like cow protection is also there in the Nanda Maharaj was a Vaishya. Business class. Because see now 9 lakh cows Nanda Maharaj had. We will just now see now Damodar month is beginning. So that is business class, Vaishyas. And the last one is the labor class. Labor means the Shudras. So who are serving the all 3. So Brahmanas represent the head or the brain, Kshatriya our arms, Vaishyas our belly, and Shudras our legs. So can you tell me which is better, which is lower, or is it something that we need all the 4? We can't say head is best, so I don't need legs. In the society, we need all 4. Head in the body, like for example, we need head, we need arms, we need belly, as well as we need the legs. So the society has to run based on the cooperation between these all 4. So here primarily we are speaking about the Kshatriyas and the Brahmanas, and that time when the Kshatriya class got so puffed up because of their opulence, because of their power, that they started mistreating the Brahmanas. They started killing cows, they started stopping the Brahmanas from doing yajnas. Those Brahmanas who are supposed to guide them, they are supposed to follow their instructions, how to rule the kingdom. Opposite was happening. this bad behavior towards Brahmanas led to Parshuram killing all the Kshatriyas. So in brief, the story goes like this, that there is Rishi Jamadagni. Rishi Jamadagni has, I think, three sons, yeah, two sons, and this last one, youngest, is Lord Bhrigupati or Parshuram. And there is this king Kartavira Arjun who has 1,000 arms. He's got some boon from, I think, Lord Shiva, and he's got this 1,000 arms, and he's very puffed up. He's misusing his power. Power, when it comes in the wrong hands, it corrupts. So he was misusing that power, and he was one time passing through a forest with his army, big army. He passes by this hut of Jamadagni Rishi, whose ashram was there. So Rishi very happily invites, because Rishi feels I should be serving. Even kings are also called as Naradeva. So they are representative of the Supreme Lord. So Rishi is having perfect knowledge, so he welcomes. So the king has so many thousands of soldiers, and Rishi has fed them so very wonderfully. Like a proper feast, he has fed them. And this king is thinking, this poor Rishi who's staying in the middle of the forest in a small hermit, how can he afford to feed us so sumptuously? We've never even had this kind of feast even in my palace. So he finds out that this Rishi has a wish-fulfilling cow, Kamadhenu cow. And he says, I want it. See, Rishis normally have these cows because they give milk, out of that butter, ghee and all is made. And they are doing yajnas daily, no? So the Rishis have these very wonderful, powerful cows, celestial cows. So he wants to take that cow, and he forcibly takes that cow and goes back to his kingdom, Mahishmati. When Parshuram was informed about this, he gets furious. He takes his Parshu, that is axe, and he chases that king, and he destroys his entire army in no time. And that's when Kartavira Arjun himself comes out, and he fights. But in no time, he chops all his arms, and he chops his head also. So that was Parshuram's bhal and that fury. Huh? And he brings the cow back to his ashram. But now this king died, but his sons, I think 1,000 or 10,000 sons he had, they observed, oh, that time they ran away, but they are having the feeling of revenge towards Parshuram. So once when Parshuram was out, actually when Parshuram returns, when the father comes to know, Jamadagni Rishi, that he killed the king, he was quite not happy. He's saying, no, Brahmanas are tolerant. They shouldn't be doing these acts. So you please go for 1 year and visit all pilgrimage places and atone for this. And Parshuram obeys that. So while he was away, that time the Kartavirya Arjun, that king's sons, come to take revenge. And Jamadagni Rishi was sitting in meditation. They cut his head and they take that head with them. And Rishi Jamadagni's wife Renuka is shocked, and she's screaming out and calling to Parshuram. Parshuram and his brothers are back. And that's when Parshuram, again with his Parshu, he goes and he attacks all these boys. All of them he kills. And Bhagavatam says there were 9 rivers of blood. That much massacre happened. And he brings that head of his father back. He had told his brothers, take care of the body of our father. I'll just be back. He goes all by himself alone, and he just finishes all these Kshatriyas who were doing all the wrong things. Now imagine they are firstly stealing the cows, then they are harming the Rishi, they killed him actually. So this was why the Kshatriyas had become so contaminated, So it was required to bring the society back in proper order. So then Parshuramji returns back, he fixes the head of his father, makes some prayers and sacrifice, and the father is alive back again. So this verse is mentioning this Parshuram kills actually all the Kshatriyas 21 times. He's making this earth free from this contaminated and polluted Kshatriyas who are, the earth became free from all these cruel and wrong Kshatriya kings. For any country, there should be a good ruler. If the ruler is good, and he's observing the instructions, following the instructions of the saintly people, then even the kingdom, everybody will be happy. So it's a very big responsibility to be ruling the kingdom. So if the person is not trained well, he's not following in the orders of the intelligent class, that is the Brahmanas. So Parshuram shows through his example that how he wiped away Kshatriyas from the face of this earth 21 times. So we go to the last verse of the day by Krishna's mercy. Matvi, can you display the last one? Yeah, thank you. Who can recite this verse, please?
Shall I recite, Mataji?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. ततः सप्तदशे जातः सत्यवतां पराशरात् शक्रे वेदतरोः शाखा दृष्ट्वा पुंसाल्पमेधसः. Hare Krishna.
There is only translation, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, purport is also there. Read both, Mataji.
Yeah, translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parashara Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent. Purport: originally the Veda is one, but Sri Vyasadeva divided the original Veda into four, namely Sam, Yajur, Ruga, and Atharva. And then again they were explained in different branches like the Puranas and the Mahabharata. Vedic language and the subject matter are very difficult for ordinary men. They are understood by the highly intelligent and self-realized Brahmanas. But the present age of Kali is full of ignorant men. Even those who are born by a Brahmana father are in the present age no better than the Shudras or the women. The twice born men, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, are expected to undergo a cultural purificatory process known as sanskaras. But because of the bad influence of the present age, the so-called members of the Brahmana and other high order families are no longer highly cultured. They are called the Dvijabandhus, or the friends and family members of the twice born. But these Dvijabandhus are classified amongst the Shudras and the women. Sri Vyasadeva divided the Vedas into various branches and sub-branches for the sake of the less intelligent classes like the Dvijabandhus, Shudras, and women. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So here we are speaking about the last incarnation for the day that we are discussing today is Vedavyas. He is incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and he is son of Parashar Muni. Anybody remembers this name somewhere in Bhagavad Gita? What does Prabhupada say about that, Rishi Parashar?
He gives the Bhagwan definition.
Yes, Mataji. Can you say what is the definition of Bhagwan Mataji as per
The one who has all six opulences.
Yes, 6 opulences.
Complete beauty, complete renunciation, complete knowledge, complete wealth.
And slogas.
Beauty, knowledge, fame, and renunciation.
Yes, thank you so much. So he is that great authority. Srila Prabhupada says that who has given us what Bhagwan means. One who is the possessor of all these opulences to the fullest, 6 opulences to the fullest. Now, this Parashar Muni, let us understand how was the appearance of Lord Vedavyas, incarnation of Supreme Lord. So Parashar Muni, one time he was doing sacrifices for tapasya in in river Ganga, and he meditated for 12 years. But he just comes out of the river Ganga and he walks, he reaches Yamuna river, and being dark, he takes the shelter of one fisherman's hut. Now, he's a great personality, he's a great authority. Now, we are seeing this pastime through the eyes of Acharyas. We don't have to give our mundane interpretation on this story, but see from the eyes of Acharyas. So, now, this great personality like Parashar Muni, he walks into the hut of a fisherman, and that he takes shelter there, and morning he has to cross that river and goes. The fisherman says, yes, definitely my daughter will help you cross the river. She will row the boat. We are fishermen, she will help. But morning when this girl, that is her name was a Matsya Gandha. Matsya means fish, Gandha means the smell. And her body smelled so much of fish. It is like that smelly, very unique smell that she had. So she was called Matsya Ganga. So she, while she's rowing the boat, Parashar Muni somehow gets attracted to her, and he's thinking, how can I, who was meditating in the river Ganga, come out of the meditation, and now I am getting attracted to her, being Trikaladarshi, one who knows the past, one who knows the future. He understands that with the union of we both, Supreme Lord is going to manifest. A great Rishi authority. So then he approaches, he proposes this Matsya Gandha, who was rowing the boat, that he tells her that if we unite, the Supreme Lord will be appearing, and I am supposed to be the seed-giving father for the Supreme Lord to manifest. So she says, but I have 3 conditions before having union with you. How can we have a union in the boat? Secondly, I don't want anybody to see that. And thirdly, my body is smelling so filthy. When it's a fish, the smell is so strong. How will the even union happen? So Rishi Parashar says, don't worry about that. By his powers of yoga, he creates so much fog around the boat. And the boat is at the island suddenly. And thirdly, he says, even your virginity will remain intact. But this child who is going to be the incarnation of the Supreme Lord will appear from our union. And that's when Vedavyas appears on that island. So one name of Vedavyas is Dvaipayana. Dvaipayana means because he was born on an island, his name is Dvaipayana, right? He was dark bluish complexion. That's why his name was also Krishna. Krishna Dvaipayana. We will read in Bhagavatam at various places. He was even present when Bhishma Dev was leaving his body. So Krishna Dvaipayana. And also because, and when he was not born a small baby. He was a big young boy. And as soon as he was born, he was ready to go. And Parashar Muni also left. Now this girl, Matsya Gandha, now she's filled with so much fragrance because Rishi told her, from Matsya Gandha, you will become Yojana Gandha. Yojana Gandha means your body will have so much fragrance till yojanas. Yojan means miles. Till many, many miles that fragrance will spread. So he had converted her into such a beautiful, fragrant lady. So then he goes away. The work is done because the incarnation of Lord has manifested. And this boy, Vedavyas, is also ready to leave go. That time, this girl, who's later on called Satyavati, and she plays a major role. She is a mother of Kuru dynasty, right? She marries later on Shantanu. That's the beginning from the Kuru dynasty. So she is like, no, my dear son, how can you leave me and go? That time, this Vedavyas tells her, mother, my dear mother, whenever you think of me, I will be immediately present in front of you. So later on, we see in Mahabharata when Chitrangad dies, Satyavati has 2 sons. Later on, when she married Santanu, Chitrangad dies young. Vichitra Virya had also left. So in those days, they could call the other son, Satyavati wanted to call Vedavyas so that he can help impregnate the queens, and so that the dynasty of Kuru dynasty, there is an heir. So we see when she thinks of him, he's readily there, present there, Vedavyas. Now, Vedavyas, what is his major contribution? He's literally literal incarnation of the Supreme Lord. In the past, Vedas were called Shruti. Shruti means just by hearing from the spiritual master, the disciples will grasp that knowledge. Not only grasp, they will be able to remember all those Vedic verses. So there was no need of notebooks or jotting down. Today we write down everything, no? Because so Vedavyas, being so intelligent and understood that in future Kalyug is just approaching. And in Kalyug, people will be Alpa Medasam, that is less intelligent, absorption is not there. They will need books. They are not Shruti Dharas. They cannot take the knowledge just by hearing. They will need the books. That's when he starts compiling the scriptures. and there was one Veda initially, Atharva Veda, which he makes divisions, 4 Veda. He makes it into 4 Vedas. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. Like that, he makes 4 divisions. He writes Ramayana, Mahabharata. So like that, the last line is mentioning that for the less intelligent also. There in that, if you go up Mataji, Papat, last line, in Kali Yuga, everybody is Shudra. Srila Prabhupada says, in Kali Yuga, we don't have any qualifications. We are all Shudra level. But see the last line, what is it? Srila Veda Vyasadeva divided Vedas into various branches and sub-branches for the sake of less intelligent classes like Dvija, Bandhus, Shudras and women. So these classes which is mentioned here, Shudra, women, so Shastra says less intelligent. Of course, Srila Prabhupada said the women who have taken shelter of Krishna, who are surrendered to the Supreme Lord, they are not less intelligent. They know what is the goal of life. But in general, today, if we see, women compared to men are less intelligent. And Dvija Bandhus are those, means, suppose I am a Brahmin, but my son also will be called a Brahmin only, though he doesn't have qualities. Basically, this division as per Bhagavad Gita is made based on Guna Karma Vibhagasha, right? Whatever are my tendencies, whatever is my Guna. Like we see Parshuram. Parshuram's case, though he is the son of a Brahmin, but he had Kshatriya qualities, right? He's killing, he's so ferocious when he's killing and very angry, and he has those Kshatriya blood. So similarly, just as Prabhupada gives example, a judge's son he can't be called a judge. He has to qualify himself to be a judge. So similarly, like this Dvija Bandhus, they are not qualified to be a Brahmana, but they call themselves as Brahmanas, these are different classes which are basically less intelligent. So we can't take up the knowledge of the Vedas if we are less intelligent. So for them, he has made Mahabharata, Ramayana, all these epics, histories are given like this simple way so that it can be understood. So the Veda Vyas did all this compilation and he has given us. So it's a major contribution. Just imagine today, if we didn't have Srimad Bhagavatam copy, we didn't have copy of Bhagavad Gita, would we be sitting here on this virtual session of Bhagavatam? We all have one Bhagavatam set. We are reading from that. We have Bhagavad Gita set. But all this is the work of Veda Vyas. So Veda Vyas, how the name came? I told you earlier what are his names. Krishna, Dvapayana, we understood. Veda Vyas. So Vyas means one who makes divided the Veda into various divisions. He instead of 1, he made 4. So Vyas means making divisions. So that's how he got a name Veda Vyas. So we have seen from this that Supreme Lord comes to give us this knowledge, all these scriptures. So his contribution is so very significant, and he's given us the wealth of spiritual literature. So we understood from this, and for today's we have finished with all the verses which we were supposed to take up. If you have any queries, if there is anything to comment, or if you have anything to share further on these topics, you all are free to share. Let me know, please. No questions? So how many incarnations we discussed?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hi Krishna Prabhuji, I'm
Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Regularly attending. Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji, after hearing this, Supreme Lord has taken very important role regarding the creation and to maintain and all those things. So why even in Kali Yuga, so we were suffering like anything. If you step out from my house, even in our house, if you step out from our house, there is full of miseries. Dukkalayam, Ashashvatam, we are suffering. But why it's Lord himself not taking care like avatars, like in words said in 20th sloka?
Whereas Shastras always give the scheduled time for the Lord to come. Kali Yuga, this is just the beginning, Prabhuji. It is going to run in lakhs of years, and when the time is right, we feel whatever we are seeing currently, we feel there is miseries, it is there. But when it will reach its saturation, that's when the Lord will come. Lord Kalki comes in Kali Yuga. And that time is already given in Srimad Bhagavatam. If we read 12th canto, That's when it's written in that description is given so detailed that what will be the state of affairs at that point of time. That's when the Lord will come and he will come and rescue us, and he will come to kill everybody because everybody will be so adharmi. So this is how Kali Yuga duration is there. And as we progress further, that's why Srila Prabhupada said, no, Kali Yuga, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said that no, it's not that in Kali Yuga, if a person is a gentleman, he just has to think about getting out of this material world and going back to the spiritual world. As we delay, we will see more and more worse things. Currently also, as you rightly said, Prabhuji, if we step out of the house, we see so many disturbances, problems, miseries. But when we are coming to the end of Kali Yuga, that's the time scheduled for the Lord to come. Currently, we have seen Lord Chaitanya come 500 years ago. Lord came mercifully. See, Lord has already appeared as Srimad Bhagavatam for the age of Kali for the people. Secondly, Lord has come in his holy name. But we have to see Lord through the holy name. We have to take this whole process of holy name chanting very sincerely. Lord came as Lord Chaitanya in a Channa avatar, hidden form. He comes as a devotee to show us how to perform the devotional service. So he came and he gave something that nobody has given before. No other incarnations have given. Golokera prema dhana harinama sankirtan. So he came and gave harinam to us. If we are sincerely chanting this harinam, the love for the God will be developed into our heart. The anarthas will be cleansed, and we are ready to then go back to the spiritual world. So Lord has already manifested. 500 years is nothing, Prabhuji. Just now Lord has appeared, Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya. So he's mercifully come and given us this holy name. And this holy name will take us back to the spiritual world. And yes, the other incarnation which is going to come, that is Kalki Avatar, which is time is not right currently. The end of Kali Yuga, that is the time given in the scriptures.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you for
Mataji. Mataji.
Today's incarnation.
Pardon?
No, Mataji, you asked today what and all we saw incarnation. I'll try, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please share. How many incarnations we learned today?
We saw first one. We saw tortoise, Mataji. Tortoise. Yeah, and then the second one we saw Dhanvantari.
Mohini.
Hare Krishna,
Then we
Mataji.
saw
and Mohini.
Mataji.
Vamana.
Kumara Avatara.
Narasimha, then Vamana.
Narasimha.
Then Parshuram.
Then Vyasadeva.
Vyasadeva last.
1 second, Mataji. First is Kumara Avatara. Next, second one is Varaha Avatara. Third one is Narada Rupa. Then fourth one is Badri Naranarayana. Fifth one is Kapila Muni. Sixth one is Dattatreya. Seventh one is Yajna. Eighth one is Rishabharaja. Ninth one is Prutu Maharaja. 10th is Matsyavatara. 11th is Kurma Avatara. 12th is Dhanvantari Avatara. 13th is Mohini Avatara. 14th is Narasimha Avatara. 15th is Vamana Avatara. 16th is Bhrugupati Parashurama Avatara. 17th is Vyasadeva.
Thank you so much. In proper sequence, Prabhuji gave, and thank you to each one of you, Matajis. If there is no question or comment,
Mataji, I want to ask you. Mataji, I want to ask you one thing.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji. When is this Gaur Kali Yuga supposed to come?
We have a long time to go in. It's 4 lakhs years for Kali Yuga, right? So we are how many? Barely 5,000 years are over.
It will start from 10,000 years of Kali
That's going to be the worst, no?
That's going to be the worst. The lifespan will come down to 20, 30 years only. It will be it's all described in Bhagavatam in the 12th canto, very detailed, So, yes, we are already seeing how the lifespans are coming down.
Also, Mataji, right now we are in the golden age, right? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, out of the 10,000 years, only 500 years have passed. Am I right, Mataji?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada said 10,000 years are this golden period where we should take the benefit of that, take the process so seriously. Otherwise, as Prabhuji said, already the situations look so grave and critical, and we just don't like, so many wrong things keep happening. But it will only
Yes.
aggravate. We will only see more and more things getting aggravated. So why not take the devotional service to so
So true,
seriously?
Mataji, so true.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Mataji, the thing is, instead of expecting the distraction, better to be in devotional service.
Yes, very true.
That is
And
the
chanting the holy name,
yes.
yes. Taking
That is the
shelter of
only
Srimad Bhagavatam.
yes. Or yes, Mataji, that we have to keep that as a goal of our life. Then we will be escape from this material world, of course. Huh? Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you for each one's association. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu
Kripa Sindhu me vacha
Patitanam
patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Bhagavatam ki
Anante
jai,
Koti
Srila
Vaishnava ki
Prabhupada
jai.
ki jai.
की
Jai
जय
Prabhupada ki jai.
भागवतम की
Thank you,
जय
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji, for the
Thank you,
wonderful
Mataji.
class.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.